All right, what's going on, guys? Coach Chrispect, the wise guy on YouTube. So I am going to quickly do a live stream right now. It is 1 o'clock in the morning, and I am still working, trying to find 2 to 4 products that I can buy between 50 and 100 units of off of Alibaba or any other sourcing site, made in China, DHgate. There are a few of them. But I'm looking to buy 2 to 4 products in the next 5 days. So I'm trying to make a decision right now. I've already done all of the research. I've already picked out I've already picked out all the products that I'm interested in launching. I've sent Alibaba factories my essential questionnaire, my 5-point questionnaire: price, shipping, labeling, branding questions. And now it's just a matter of picking a product and making that decision. So if you have any questions about Alibaba, or about choosing your product, or about sourcing on Alibaba, and you're still awake because it's 1 o'clock in the morning in the West Coast, 4 o'clock in the East Coast, probably around 3 a.m. Central, you're probably all sleeping. But if you get this video and you're watching it in the morning, in the comment section, ask your questions. I will respond because I get auto alerts of every question or every message that goes through on my YouTube. So I'm always responding to people to make sure that I can serve the public. So I've already picked out, I would say, 2 products, and then I have 2 more products kind of in the decision-making process phase, still trying to determine, is there life in the product? Is it a product that fits my brands? Is it a product that I want to invest my money into? Is it a product that I want to invest my time into? Do I think it has enough demand? Do I think I can rank it on page 1? So I'm still looking at all of those aspects right now to make that decision for the other 2 products. The primary 2 products, I've already made a decision. Page 1 is still wide open for both of them. And I'll give you an idea. One of the products is going to cost me roughly about, what is it, $7.50 for the product, and for 100 units, $500 to ship. Or excuse me, I think, no, 200 units, $500 or $550 US to ship, which works out to be about, I think, what is that? Let's do the math right now. I want to say $250 per unit, but let's get it right. 550 divided by 200 units, $2.75 a unit, plus 750 is $10.25 US times 1.1 or really clear that, times 1.3, 750 times 1.3. So about $1,000, or see why I'm saying $1,000, about $9.75 per unit. No, let's do the math again. $7.50 plus, I'm drawing a blank here, $550 shipping. That's direct duty paid to Amazon from China, from Shenzhen, China, to Amazon direct in Canada. $550 for 250 units, for 200 units, divided by 200 units equals 550 divided by 200 units. First, do your math. It's $2.75 plus $7.50 equals $10.25 backwards to you guys. So $10.25 US times, let's just go 1.3. Conversion is $13.32 for that product, which is selling for between $40 and $50 on Amazon. So I can make anywhere from $10 to $20 per sale on this particular product. And the product is an amazing product. I am super excited to actually be able to sell this product. I can't wait to even play with it. And I think it's going to have, it's kind of preemie, so it's going to have a fairly steady sale life. It's going to sell for a while. I do think, though, that the product will eventually change and improve. So I have to keep up with these improvements over time, or at least look at newer models of it, because this type of product has definitely got that type of, it as an electronic, any electronic obviously change super fast like phones. So those are things you want to look at for this particular product. Okay, I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. If you want to know what it is, jump onto my course. Right now it's $100 on sale, regular $500, $100 on sale. Link will be in the bio of any of my videos. Jump on there, sign up, then hit me up on Amazon Selling Mentorship. Join it, and you will be able to see all the things that I am selling, retail arbitrage, and then ask me about this type of stuff, because those guys get priority first. All right, second product that I've already made a decision to go with is just a matter of finalizing the factory that I want to go with, and finalizing the dimensions of it, and finalizing the buy. Is at a cost of $4 US, okay, for 100 units, and $125 shipping for 100 units. So $125, let me just clear that, $125 divided by 100 units equals $1.25 per unit, plus the initial $4 investment equals $5.25. And at $4, that for any factory in Alibaba, any factory in Made in China, or any of the websites that you would source from, when you're only buying 100 units, don't expect their best price. Don't expect a discount. Don't expect savings of that much. You can try to negotiate, but don't expect to go anywhere. And don't kill your deals trying to negotiate on a small buy. Small buys like that, you should be simply trying to test the market to see if the product sticks when you throw it at the wall. If you can generate 2 to 3 sales, 1 to 3 sales, 2 to 3 sales a day. If you can do that, then you have something, and then it is time for you to transition that product into something bigger for yourself. Again, this is the hybrid business model, and it's a part of the Coach Chrispect crash courses that are rolling out one after the other that will help entrepreneurs who are selling on Amazon, who want to do private label business model. The hybrid model is my my science for success. A lot of coaches, a lot of teachers who are teaching how to sell on Amazon, teach the fundamentals, teach everything right. But just like I did initially, we make the mistake of telling people to just invest into the best product that they can find. And it's usually a singular idea. Find that one best product and do all your research and run it by us and all that type of stuff. The problem is a lot of people are failing with that particular ideology because it's just one product. You're putting all your eggs into one product, and you're buying a lot of inventory. And if you screw up, it's a big screw up. If you bought 500 units and you spent $5 a unit, that's $2,500 US for that product, plus shipping, plus your investment, plus your capital for advertising, and you're losing money because you're trying to rank it and all that type of stuff. You're basically blowing $2,500. Now it can work, and it does work. It worked for me, that particular business model, but just because it worked the first time for me, my secondary product launch, my third product launch failed. So when you think of it, I've actually only had a 33% success rate. And a lot of people I know of that I've talked to in groups and that I've talked to in pages and that have called me up, and we've FaceTimed and all that type of stuff. We've discussed it, and a lot of people have failed because they picked the wrong product. They picked fidget spinners, they picked solar glasses, they picked these short lifespan products in a high demand world and couldn't make it stick, and ultimately ended up wasting all this money or tying up all this capital, and were never able to unload it. And ultimately their perception was completely different than mine, because they didn't have that same type of success. So the hybrid model that I've come up with and designed specifically to completely destroy that inability to succeed right away is 100% different. And so the Coach Chrispect Crash Course Hybrid Edition, Hybrid 1.0, is going to be able to take you from A to Z in a hybrid model that will ultimately guarantee success in a private label world. So again, that's something that you can get once you join the Amazon Selling Hustle course. It's $97. Jump on that. Make sure that you sign up for that. Link is in the description of this video. It'll be in the description of any of my videos. You can always jump on there, and you can get more information about the course, about me, about what we teach. You can see some demonstration videos by just going back in my YouTube videos. And then you can make an informed decision, decide if you want to start selling on Amazon, learn the fundamentals, and then jump into certain specific areas like retail arbitrage or hybrid arbitrage or private label. Get more in depth and learn to scale and sell big ticket items in the private label model. Learn how to import in the private label aisle, both via air or via boat, via ship, containers. So and then, you know, wholesale, we're gonna add in drop shipping, Amazon drop shipping. So there are a lot of great courses coming out within the crash course, Coach Chrispect crash course model that you're going to want to take advantage of. So back to Alibaba and sourcing your product. My goal that I put on Instagram was to make 2 products, 2 private label products stick this month. In order to do that, I got to launch 4 products this month at anywhere from 50 to 100 units of each. Okay, so that's the goal I'm trying to find. So I've picked 2. I have 2 more that are looking really good. So we'll go over those. Now let me jump over here. And I think my camera will still, I'm not switching screens. I wonder if it changes screens. Let me take a look. I didn't put it on screen sharing, so I'm not going to share this, but I'm going to look at it while I'm sharing. Are you on my Facebook right now, Karen? Go on there and see if, or no, on YouTube, and see if when I switch screens, it switches on there. I don't think it is, because it's not, I don't have screen sharing mode on. Just want to see. Jump on there. My videos. Sorry, guys. I'm just quickly checking something here. I'm live. I'm going to just mute this. Checking something here. I'm live. That is quick, though. Okay, great. So it still shows me versus the world. All right. So on Alibaba, let's quickly kind of give you guys some life here and talk about some of the different things that I talked to, or that I, you know, that I talk to or talk about with Alibaba factories, so that when you are trying to source your products, and I have templates for all these, they're all in the course. I've even put some out there for people to just jump on and grab for free. But I'm going to give you guys right now my first questionnaire, my first point form questions that I throw at all the different factories that I'm reaching out to. And it's a template, it's a cut and paste template that I'll put it out there. I'll add in the name of the product, but it's the same questionnaire that I'm asking each and every one. And then I'll go over my responses, which is again another kind of follow-up template that I go over with the people whose product I like. Okay, so the first message that I send the different salespeoples in the factories is this. I'll read it out to you. I'll say, hey, my name is Chrispect, and I have an Amazon store on the Canadian marketplace. And then I'll say, I'm searching for good quality products, supplier service, product guarantees, and I am interested in more information about your blank. And whatever it is that you're looking at or sourcing, you just fill in the blank there. You know, I'll use my example that I use all the time, that I use in the course. I am interested in more information about your stability balls or your Swiss balls or those big exercise balls. Okay, so we'll use that as an example. Then I'll say, can you quote me on the following information? And this is where I'm going to, you know, again, you're dealing with probably someone that's actually translating your English into characters in their language. So it's not coming through as crisp on their side as it would be. Not to say that, you know, a lot of them, you know, obviously can converse in English, speak the English language, read the English language. So it's not an issue, but you're going to get the odd person that doesn't necessarily speak the language and they're using translation tools on their end to converse your language. And you can tell by the way they respond to some of your questions that they read it very, very robotically. They take every phrase or sentence or paragraph by verbatim. There's no point in really being funny or silly with them, because anything, even if it's a quote, they take as something you said to them as a real. You could have said to them, always keep moving, and they would respond to, yes, Mr. Chrispect, I will keep moving, you know, even though that was just maybe a quote or something like that. So no need to kind of add in any random conversation or messages other than, hey, how's it going? Thank you. You know, apologize for whatever, or, you know, we'll talk about that in a second. So once you've given those first two lines and you want to ask them some questions, you say, can you provide me information on the following, or can you give me answers to my following questions? Then you're going to, what I find to be very effective, very helpful for me as a seller is I like to point form or number each question that I give them. And they actually, for the most part, will respond just under each number, color code it for you, bold it so it stands out as a response to your question. Just like if you were writing a test and the question was number 1 and the question was what it was. And then there were, you know, 2 or 3 lines where you could write the answer. That's kind of like how they respond to you and to your questions if you do in this format, which obviously in North America is how we learn. So it's very effective, and it fits our brains love it. So the first question I obviously ask is about the product is, can you provide me a price quote for, and I'll usually give them a quantity of units that I'm interested in. Can you provide me a price quote for 100 units of this product? Can you provide me a price quote for 500 units, question mark? Can you provide me a price quote for 1,000 units? Just depending on how much the price was initially quoted to you off the Alibaba site, you can then determine based on that price how many units you want to start with. Or you can go the hybrid model and just keep the number low, 50, 100, 200 units, somewhere in that range, nothing more than that. and keep it generic and see what prices they give you. So that's question number one, is price. Question number two is you want to ask them if they are able to add your brand or logo onto your product, okay? This is important because if the product sticks, then you must brand it. If the product does well in the first initial 50 sales or 100 sales that you're able to convert, then you must brand it going forward. When you go to reorder, you're going to need to get your factory to add your brand onto the product. Okay, so you need to ask them, are they able to add your brand or logo onto the product? And that will bring up other discussion. Most of the time, 99% of the time, they're going to say yes. Most factories are able to screen print it on your product, are able to create molds of the product with the brand in the product. They're able to do almost anything that you want them to do, okay, as long as you're willing to pay for it. But in some circumstances, you can get that for free, the branding of your product, if you order enough quantity per order. Some have a quantity minimum of 500 units before they will add the brand. I just sent out about 5 or 6, maybe 5 to 8 templates to 5 to 8 different products for order quantities of around 100. And almost all of them, I think 7 of the 8, were able to do the branding at 100 units. No problem. Again, I told them this would be my initial order quantity. If the product does what my expectations are in its first run, then I will be increasing the order quantity, which I will be. I'm not going to sit on 100 units. That's not enough units if the product's going to do well. I want to have at least 300 units for most of the products that I'm selling on Amazon that are private label. And for my products that are doing 10 or more sales a day, minimum 500 units. Okay. The third question that I asked them that is mandatory by Amazon is that we need to be able to have our factory put the FNSKU sticker onto the box or the OPP bag, the packaging, okay, which is obviously easy, and 100% of factories will offer you that service for a fee or for free, okay? Again, just depends on how many you're going to order. But even if you have to pay, most factories will only charge you about 5 cents for that sticker per unit. Whereas if you have Amazon do it when the product arrives, which you can do when you create a shipping plan, you can get Amazon to put the sticker on when the product arrives. Amazon charges 20 cents per unit, whereas you're going to save at least 15 cents or 75% off if you have those stickers put on in China. So make sure you're asking them, can you add my UPC, which is a generic way, a more recognizable term than an FNSKU. But for those of you who don't know, an FNSKU is Amazon's version of a UPC code. They don't generally use UPC codes. Sometimes they do for commingled stock, for different ways that sellers will ship in their product. But their universal barcode is their FNSKU, okay? So that's number 3. Number 4, fourth question I ask is, what is, so I'll tell them the product is shipping to, if you're in the US, just say Dallas, Texas. If you're in Canada, just say Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Again, if you're in Dallas, Texas, USA. If you're in Canada, just say Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Just use those 2 locations to give you an idea of what the cost of shipping will be. So number 4, the product is shipping to, I'll use the Canada, Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Now the question is this, can you provide me a quotation for air, express shipping, DDP, duty, direct, paid, Okay, duty direct paid. It's a door-to-door shipping for new sellers, for sellers who want, again, to use leverage and really take a lot of the work and stress out of it. Using DDP is absolutely great. Manufacturer takes care of everything on their end, all the way to Amazon, where they pay for the duty, they make sure that's taken care of, the shipping. It's all incorporated in there, so you're just paying one lump sum fee for your shipping that includes your duty and your shipping fees, and taxes are all in that one lump sum amount. And it's prepped. They use, I think a lot of times they do use third-party shipping companies, and they give you tracking numbers so that once the product arrives into your country, the tracking becomes live and you can see where it's at, and you can see when it'll arrive at Amazon. And obviously you can take that tracking number and you can insert it into your Amazon shipping plan and actually be alerted when the product's where it is, when it is. So it's Air Express shipping, which is obviously if you're buying anything lightweight or a small amount of units, it's a great way to get your product to Amazon really fast from China. It's almost like buying online in Canada. It's like buying a product off of, Walmart.com or BestBuy.com or whatever, and placing your order and paying for the shipping and paying for your product, and then just waiting for it to arrive. Instead of it arriving to you, it's arriving direct to Amazon, And so once Amazon receive it in, they count your goods for you, they put it into your inventory, they shelve it where it has to go in Amazon. It is such an easy world. Amazing how easy it is, especially with Alibaba.com. So Air Express shipping, directly paid. The other way to do it is to go EXW, and to look, if you're shipping bigger products, heavier products, bulkier products that maybe are thousands of dollars to ship air, and you want to go, okay, well, I'm not going to pay $5,000 for 500 units to ship air. Let's see what it's going to cost me to ship via boat from China or ship from China. And your rates are going to be a lot cheaper. Again, you may need to utilize a freight forwarder. Just Google freight forwarders, contact one, send them an email, say, look, I'm shipping products from China to my Amazon store. I want to hire you guys to help me with my freight forwarding, so that when it arrives in port, you guys can then forward it and have it shipped from port direct to Amazon. And that's, again, another easy way to do it. Super easy way to do it. And they will almost, in the same sense, you can do a DDP version where they'll handle all the fees. You just pay one lump sum fee and they'll handle the duty. It'll all be incorporated in there, and the product will get to its end destination in Dallas or Brampton or wherever else you need the product to go. And there's more to that. Again, guys, there's more to that. I'm just trying to simplify this version of it for you. But in my course, it's 10 hours of step-by-step content to help you every step of the way, so that you're not making any mistakes in that, that I'm showing you and demonstrating every action along the way. So again, $100, it's $97 right now. Click the link in the description below and jump onto the course. Don't forget to join the Facebook group, Amazon Mentorship or Amazon Hustle, Amazon Selling Hustle Mentorship course. Just type that into Facebook. But you got to be a member of the course in order to get into that private group. And then the next question I'm asking is, what is the estimated production time on their end? How long is it going to take for you guys to produce 50 units, 100 units, 200 units, 500 units, whatever the case may be? A lot of times they have 50 or 100 units on hand, so it's almost zero. Maybe it's like 3 to 5 days production time. Where the time changes is in question number 6. Is what I ask is, can you tell me the estimated shipping time? If you're doing DDP, it's 5 to 7 days. If you're doing shipping, freight, using a freight company might be 20 to 30 days. It might be a lot longer. Okay, obviously it will be a lot longer. So you got to ask those two questions in accordance with the way you're going to ship. I also mentioned, can you give me additional information? Please, when I send them my first reach out email to manufacturers, I want more information about the product. So I want to see photos. Photos are going to help you make a visual decision. With great photos that most of these manufacturers are sending, you can usually just visually see if the product is good enough quality, or quality that meets your expectations. 80% of the time, you probably can make a decision without getting a sample. But sometimes you may want to get that sample. And I usually, I have one product that I'm probably going to get a sample of, maybe two products I'm probably going to test it and get a sample of. Again, I'm only doing a 50 to 100 unit launch, maybe 200 units. So the risk is I blow it and the product was bad, but I haven't had that experience yet. So, so again, 80% of the time you may be able to determine off the 5 to 10 photos that they send you, because they're taking photos of the product on their desk at the office. They go and get them. They're snapshotting photos of it, the contents inside, the owner's manual, the little packages of everything that are inside. They may send you, if you're buying something that's just a single unit, they may send you the dimensions of the unit so you can get a visual. You pull out the tape measure and you can kind of get a visual of the product. You might go, okay, well, let's see. Okay, so they said that product's base is 10 centimeters. So, okay, the base is the base is 10 centimeters. Maybe it's 15 centimeters high. So a tape measure is good to have. And maybe this upper part of it is only 4 centimeters. So you can kind of build the example of the sizing. And those are things that most people, it's like trying on shoes. At the end of the day, every shoe you try on is going to feel great. It's just the look of it and the visuals of it that you're making a decision on. Now, sometimes it's the materials and what it's crafted of and what it's made of that is important. And sometimes it's the niche. If you're in baby, like Jungle Scout, like Greg Mercer did his example with the Jungle Scout series of videos that he put out, where he ordered baby bath towels and had 3 or 4 samples, and was just able to pick the better of the ones that he preferred because it had thicker materials, and it just seemed like an all around better product. So you can always go that route. But for the sake of ramping your business up, I'd probably say your first product, pick a product that you can visually make a decision. That way it takes the complication out of these products that you need to see it and touch it. You should be able to find a lot of products that you can visually go, okay, yeah, that's exactly what I want. That's a water bottle. That's a stapler, whatever. You're not going to need to test it. Okay. That's a can opener. That's a thermometer, whatever. Those are fairy lights. Okay. So, it's the specs that are important to you. You just got to make sure that at the end of the day, your spec list is exactly what you want. And so that's why you ask for additional information, packaging information, or picture information. Usually when you're looking at the different products on Alibaba, it's just like Amazon. It's going to have a spec list for you, so you can already see all that information right away before you even email them. So you don't have to worry about that. And then the other thing, I asked them for additional information. So pictures and packaging options. I want to see pictures of the product. I want to see packaging often. Often it's just a clear bag, not like something like this that holds plums, but it's just an OPP bag, a firm Ziploc-like bag. Some are clear, some are opaque, so you can't really see through them. And then you can ask, what other options of packaging do they have? Some will have Tetra packs or whatever you call them, the plastic, more firm packaging, just depending on what the product is. Some will allow you to create a insert card. If you reach out to somebody, a creative guy on Fiverr, go find your Fiverr guy. Go find a guy. Eventually, as you grow your business, you start launching products, you're going to need to get photos created for your listing. That same person who did your photos likely can do packaging designs for the product that you launched and create some really crazy packaging designs for you that your factory can then print off and create the new packaging for you for next to nothing. I think I had 1,000 units done with my new packaging on my last product for less than $200. So what does that work out to? $2 a unit? Not even. Yeah, $2 a unit. It might not have even been that much. Now that I come and think about it. But those things are important because they add value to your product and allow you to charge more. Without the packaging, my product is $19.99. With the packaging, my product is $24.97. $5 more because I added a packaging design with great information, great marketing look, my Facebook logo, my Facebook page, my Facebook landing page, email on it, information about the product, tips, tricks, everything is in there. It makes it stand out. Okay. And then the other additional information is you ask them about the warranty that they offer, and you ask them, if you receive defective product, how do they handle it? What's their policy? A lot of times they'll say they will replace it on your next order with them, which is fine, as long as that relationship, continues. There's really no other options for them. You could ask them to put in writing some sort of refund. That might fly. It all depends on how many units you buy from them. But I utilize as long as they say, okay, Chris, if you had 20 defective units on your last run, just let me know how many you had. You can easily send them a report if you need to, if the defects get out of hand. They don't want them back, obviously, but they will then give you those additional units on the next run. A lot of times, all these factories say we're less than 1% on defects. Bullshit. They're not. It doesn't matter who you are. They're going to have defects, especially if you're generic right now. So, and that's a whole topic on its own, so I won't really get into that. But that's really the list of questions I propose to all of the factories. It's the same template. You can type those out and use that. And then at the end, I say, I look forward to your information and working with you. Sincerely, Chrispect, name of my company, my position. Sometimes I call myself the CEO. Sometimes I call myself the product genius. Sometimes I call myself the marketing department. Something like, I don't know. I just change it up because it doesn't really, at the end of the day, matter. That is really the primary part of this video. For all of you who are waking up to this video tomorrow, smash that like button and enjoy the content. And before I take off, when you get responses, and you'll get responses for upwards 70% of the messages you message on Alibaba. Not everybody will respond, but a lot will. And about 20 or 30% will give you all the information you need. And then about the rest of the ones that respond will say, okay, let me email you or let me get back to you. Okay. And then of some of them, they may have missing information. So the response that you respond there, I do have different templates for that I've given my students. For people who don't have good pricing, I have a great template that just allows you to negotiate. It's just a very psychologically, almost reverse psychology, and all of a sudden it helps convert these people who gave you bad pricing to all of a sudden want to give you good pricing. So that's one template I have in my course. The second template is for people who gave you great information back. Everything looks awesome. Is just that type of response. So two different types of responses there that are blank templates. And then sometimes, a lot of times you won't even use those templates. You'll use them in the beginning of the course for the first few that you reach out to, but eventually you're going to have a conversation based on the responses that you get, and you're going to tailor the information that you're asking in your responses. I'll give you my quick response right here. The person's name was Yui, Y-U-Y-I. Hi, Yui. Thank you for the information. Sorry for the delay in responding. I was away, obviously. I actually sent this out at the end of December, just before we took off to our trip in California at Disneyland. I sent this out just before that I basically went after 6 or 7 products and hit up anywhere from 5 to 10 of each of those different factories for each of those products. So anywhere from 30 to 70 messages were sent, just spamming. I did a few different whatchamacallit, the RFQs or whatever they call them, where they just send a feeler message out to all the factories that are supplying something similar to what you're asking for. But anyway, when I get responses, my response to them is very quick. And this is a response to the products that I'm interested in. So, hi, Yui. Thank you for the information. Sorry for the delay in responding. This particular one is a product I'm interested in, but I say, I cannot answer your question about the MOQ until you provide me price and the other information that I need. Then I can decide. Let me know the details. Thank you. CHRISPECTS CEO, Amazon Megastore. Okay. So this was actually one where they didn't give me any information they gave me some bullet points, like their responses to my, so here are some of the answers for your reference. They hit me up in the point form, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But number one, instead of giving me price, they say the MOQ of this product is 2,000 pieces per color. Then number 2, you can put the logo on it. Number 3, yes, we can do it. Number 4, are you okay with the MOQ? Number 5, the general production time is 45 days. Number 6, it depends on the ship. After checking the shipping costs, I'll let you know. So they only ship, obviously, based on the quantity. It's probably a larger shipment. I don't know. But anyway, that was one. Let me give you the one. That was for one that they didn't give me any information. So it was very quick response there. But let's go to this one. Yeah, this one here. Here's my response to a factory that gave me great information. Everything I loved about it, it was all there. Person's name is Angela. Hi, Angela. Sorry for the late reply. We have been on vacation. I'm back at the office. Just a couple additional questions. One, how much blank does this product come with? So it's an accessory within the product, and I want to know how much of that accessory is supplied with the original product, which is a great question, because I can actually add this particular accessory as an add-on to the product. So I can actually create maybe a child listing for the product and have this as an add-on or an option, or I can create a separate listing and sell this as an option, maybe in bulk or in small amounts. So that was the first question. I just wanted to confirm that, what it came with. Second thing I had to ask was, do they sell this particular add-on separately, and what does it cost? Because I didn't really think about it at the time, but now when I think about it, I'm like, the initial product that I was looking at, which is actually one of the 2 products I'm going to launch, can actually turn into 3 products if what is supplied initially runs out. Can I add more of it I can actually create another listing from it. So I can actually get 3. So it might be 3 products out of really what is 2. So 2 majors, but 1 is a sub-product of the product. And then the third question I ask is, what do you charge if I want to change? I don't even know why I put, what do you charge if I want to change it cheap? So I messed that up. I didn't spell check. I didn't read my sentence there. What am I asking there? What do you charge if I want to change cheap? Honestly, I don't even know what I'm asking there. Huh. Anyway, I butchered that. I'll have to think about that. And then the last one was, I plan to test with 200 units. If all goes well, then I'm going to increase to 500 units. And that's because when I'm looking at the demand for this particular product, it's actually pretty decent. Most sellers are ranging from, on page 1, from 100 units. I think the best seller has about 400 units in a month. And that's so a range of 20 different sellers. So really good demand on this particular product. So I obviously can meet, I always like to, for these type of products, I like to get at least a month and a half to 2 months inventory, to maybe even 3 to 4 months inventory of the product, just depending on how well it can do and what its highs and lows are. So I just asked them after this test run, if all goes well, what kind of price would they give me if I were to order 500 units instead of 2? And I just want to know that for future ordering. I found in the past, when dealing with the factory, sometimes they'll jack the price on you after you've built that relationship and have been with them for 6 months. Obviously, on their end, they know you don't want the hassle of having to find someone new. So they kind of inch the price up a little bit. I've had that happen to me. I've been the one that's had to ignore it and go, okay, well, I'll suck it up. And just keep the relationship. The price is still good enough to keep the relationship going, and it has really, obviously you always want the best price in the bottom line, but in this case, I'm accepting of it. But for future products, I now know, hey, what's the future of this product? They're always going to fluctuate based on the US dollar, and so that's going to also hurt me because I'm based in Canada, so that is a part that you have to eventually come to terms with, the pricing of the products and all that type of stuff as well. But you just want to ask them, when you follow up, I'm going to order this. I'm happy with the price, but I want to know, when I do buy 500, what's the price going to be? When I do buy 1,000, what's the price going to be? Oh yeah, and Angela, 6 months from now, I want to know that this price is locked in. I don't want to see high increases. What are your increases in the past? Have you increased by 2%, 1%, 4%? What has been your increases to pricing structure in the past 2 to 3 years? Because I want to know that, one, I'm not going to get overcharged 6 months after we create a great relationship. And two, I want to know that, hey, look, when the buying power is better, I can get a better deal from you guys because your buying power is better on your end. So, and that's all structured for them, I'm sure. But obviously in China, their negotiation ability is leagues above anybody in North America at this level versus at their level. So you got to learn from them. And we'll leave it at that, guys. That was the video for this evening at 1:55 in the morning. I am still working, still finalizing products. The goal is to finalize the product by Friday and place my orders for at least 2 to 4 new products that I am going to throw at Amazon. And then next week, start creating those listings and get those listings created, and away we go. All right, guys, Coach Chrispect, the Wise Guy. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at the Wise Guy. Information will be in the bottom, so make sure if you are interested in signing up for my course and want to follow my blueprint, do that right away. All right. Have a great night, and we will talk to you guys later.